PVC when people are not even collecting what we have. I don't know how we're going to deal with it.
Is it just in Yenagoa? What about other cities in the state? Is it the same thing?
Well, in other local government areas, we've done over 93% and above, but in Yenagoa, for now, we are still below 60.
Okay, so in other areas, you've done over 90%. They are coming out in those other areas, but not in Yenagoa.
Yeah, the turnout in Yenagoa appears poor. We've tried all we could, and that appears to remain the situation. But all the same, my men are still in the field. And like you are aware, we have to distribute up to the 8th of March, and we'll continue to go out every day. But what I know is that we cannot distribute and collect at the same time. The owners have to come forward and collect this cash.
How many of these PVCs is in your custody?
As at this morning, because I'm not getting the details of what was collected today, I was having a balance of about 123,000 cars.
In your custody?
In Yenagoa, we have only 610,000 cars on voters.
So how many are you still expecting from the commission to be delivered?
I'm expecting about 40,000.
Okay, and do we have assurances that they will be delivered before the 8th of March?
I have.
Okay, well, are you also, because Mr. Byron did also ask about, in case people are not able to come and collect their PVCs, is it possible, will the commission consider allowing people come with their TVCs in exchange for the PVCs should need be?
I didn't quite get that.
Is it going to be possible, or will the commission consider people come to the polling units on the day of election with their TVCs such that they can exchange it for the permanent voter cards and then be able to get accredited and subsequently vote?
Well, that remains a matter that I will consider something that has to do with policy. If the commission finally decides that, of course, those of us who are resident commissioners will implement that in our various states.
Is there any reports of people snatching PVCs as well in Bayelsa?
Not to my knowledge.
All right. Thank you for speaking with us this evening.
Thank you so much.
All right. So that's Mr. Barry Tokpagi, the resident electoral commissioner in Bayelsa State. We'll be back in just a moment and perhaps respond or read out some comments coming from you out there. Join us again. Well, let's get to Mary Alala Yusuf. She's got a roundup for us as well today. Good evening, Mary.
Thank you, Chamberlain. Good evening, and good evening, everybody. According to the National Human Rights Commission, there has been 58 deaths in cases of pre-election violence in 22 states since December 2014. Perhaps this is partly why the signing of peace accords seems to be a desirable intervention, but will it work? Now, here's a reminder of the question for you. Do you think the signing of peace accords by political parties will ensure violence-free elections? Options are yes, no, and indifferent. Go to channelstv.com, pick an option, and click vote. It might be good enough to sign a peace accord, but how do you enforce it among the generality of people? What are the enabling laws for the accord to be carried out smoothly across the nation? These are some of the questions people are asking. Here are some of the views from Osun, Delta, and Yobe states.
People are ready to do what they are supposed to do. Why will it not work?
It's one thing for the leader of a place to say a thing. It's another thing for the followers to believe in what the person has said.
They are just using that word peace pact as a camouflage. They know what they are going to do internally, in their mind.
It happened in 2007, it happened in 2011. Our prayer is that it will not happen in 2015 again. So signing peace pact or not doesn't have anything to do with preventing violence in the country.
They are just deceiving us. We are here to practice democracy.
To have laws, and we are not sanctioning those who are breaking our laws.
Unless there is an enabling law that guarantees such accord, under what law will a person be prosecuted if he breaches such accord?
there will be peace during and after the election in this state.
When there are elections, we don't know who will be the victim.
The INEC itself, the security agencies should ensure fair and free election period, voting processes. So the loser will ask that this has been done transparent, and the winner too will come out as winner by the collective votes of the masses.
Reactions range from utter disbelief to cautious optimism, but it looks like one little word could change everything. That's cooperation. Cooperation of party leaders with followers, cooperation of citizens with existing laws. That's all on Talkback for now. Chamberlain takes it from here.
Well, thank you, Mary. We've got comments coming through from those who are watching. For instance, Isioma says, I've collected mine and it didn't take up to 15 minutes despite the fact that TVC was missing and I collected at Uvie local government area. Bakaide has a different story entirely. He says, what about those of us that our cards are not ready over 5 streets and about 10,000 voters? He says that they've done everything, but they've not been able to collect. His polling unit code is 241801063. He says they're told that their PVCs are in Abuja. Well, Mr. Byron, there has to be a closing date for the collection of the PVCs, which the Commission says is the 8th of March. No. So if they were to allow people to come to the polling centers, yes. I beg your pardon, the voting center yes. with their PVCs, that would be chaotic, wouldn't it?
Well, yes, it could be, but everything will depend on the sense of organization. But the point I'm trying to make, which is the most important point, is that the distribution of the PVCs should be on a polling station by polling station basis. That is when it is absolutely decentralized and there is less pressure. But if you aggregate the distribution of PVCs to maybe local governments or wards, you are not going to have enough personnel to service the people. You're going to have a crowd at each collection centers, and a lot of people will be just feel frustrated. They probably wouldn't want to go because there's too much of a headache there. So,
all right, let me take a look at this eyewitness. Remember, we always ask you to send us a picture wherever you are, including your location, while you stay safe at that. But for those who are wondering if internally displaced persons across the northeast will get to vote, it does appear as though that fear is being allayed by the Commission with this voting center at the Michika local government area in Yola, Adamawa State capital. It says a sign of hope. But the eyewitness reporter is lamenting over the long distance between the 2 major IDP camps in Yola and the venue, which he puts at 10 kilometers, and concerned about how they will get there since movement will be restricted on the day of election. So there you go, some of the issues making the rounds about the collection of the permanent voter cards. Thank you for coming on, Mr. Shina Adegbenroviron. Yeah. And then we also were joined by resident electoral commissioners of Bayelsa and Ogun. Well, that's the show today. We thank you all for watching. From all of us here today, I'm Chamberlain Oso. Good night.